Aloha, friends from all over the place. This is Keith and Vickie Winroad, Monkeypodtreeministries, and we are going to do our daily devotional with you again. And so what I was thinking I needed to do is just continue on with some comments on the Lord's Prayer. And so I think our next couple verses, we'll start at verse 12, and forgive us our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors. And of course, we've talked about that a lot. I think every time we talk about forgiving people. And the next verse, and do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And that is really a big one. So Jesus is saying to us, he's telling us to pray that we would not be led into temptation, but rather that we'd be delivered from evil. Now we need to think about that, because a lot of times we're not praying that we would not be led into temptation. In fact, we're dancing around the edge of temptation and looking in and hoping that we don't slip and fall. And that's really a dangerous place for God's people to be. So I really encourage you, don't even go there, don't even look over the edge, don't even think about it, just walk away from it. Let Jesus answer that prayer rather than resisting him answering that prayer, okay?
You mean like cooperate with him?
In other words, cooperate with the word of the Lord. Cooperate with what God says. I love you guys, and now Vickie's going to share.
Okay, well, thank you, Jesus. Well, what God's been doing with me recently, I've been watching the 30 Days of Saturation with Healing with Wendy J. Clark on YouTube, and I just studied chapter 29. There's 30 chapters, so I only have one more chapter to go. And this one on 29 was about being in the secret place and the protection that we have there. One thing that's really hard for us to understand is that we are completely forgiven and we have the righteousness of Jesus, and he doesn't hold anything against us. In his eyes, we're holy and pure and blameless. And so there's no condemnation. And then that means we're fully qualified to receive every promise in the Old and New Testaments, including healing. And so when we really get past that, feeling unworthy or guilt or shame or condemnation, and really get over it and realize it's Jesus's performance, not ours, that qualifies us, and that we are qualified to receive healing, then healing will come and the symptoms will go. But it's getting it from our minds, believing it in our head, to really believing it in our hearts. And I pray we all get over that hurdle so we can enjoy all the provision God has, that Christ gave us through the finished work of Christ. Okay, God bless you. Have a beautiful Monday. Aloha.
Aloha.